Hey folks, it's Dr. Rowe. I hope you're well. Just want to check I'm on. Um, it's such a crazy week this week. I was hoping to get a post on Wednesday and it's Friday. So I'm going to do this now so that I at least get one in and possibly one tomorrow as well. And I think I wanted to do it particularly because we've obviously gone into February. That's month two of the year. And if you're watching this and you set yourself goals at the start of the year, I just wanted to touch bases and get a sense of where you're at the moment. So I'm going to kind of wear a coachy hat here, a little bit of a teachy coachy hat. Hopefully you're okay with that. And the reason I'm doing it is because this is a vulnerable time in terms of vulnerable for your goals and your aspirations. That we incubate these ideas at the start of a year, maybe things that we've carried through from the previous year. A lot of emotion going on. Come to the back end of a year, particularly this last year with COVID. I don't know if you've managed to watch our recent Cicado show. We did a reflection on 2020. I might see if I can get a mention of this with Harminder actually and do a post on it if you haven't seen it. But that's absolutely worth watching, and it might be worth pointing a few people to that as well. But the reason I wanted to share this with you is because this particular post is because now is the time to just check in. And when people are doing a check in, it's like, well, what do I need to check in on? Okay, so I'm going to give you four things to check in on, and some will be more obvious than others. But if there's anything there that you haven't thought about, then just just make a note of it now. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking a bit formal. I'm actually in the middle of a presentation. I'm on a lunch break, and I've got to be back in sort of 5, 8, 10 minutes, something like that. All right. So let me just move this around a bit so that it's not too distracting for you. I come over there. Okay. So number one, take a look at the current situation in terms of what goals you set yourself for the start of the year. It's 2021. Oh, we're going to smash 2020 out of the year, out the park. COVID. I'm not going to be caught short again. These are my plans. These are my aspirations. And I think what's happened is quite a lot of people have come back and gone, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And sometimes that list can be overwhelming, and you'll tend to gravitate to the things you either feel comfortable with or that you enjoy most. And the activities that you know that you need to do but actually don't enjoy them as much, you'll put them off. I don't know if anyone can relate to this. So I just want to ask you a simple question. I mean, literally, what's the date today? We're on the 5th of February. So approximately a month ago, you set yourself goals. Are you still aligned with those goals? I'm going to ask you to look at three things. Number one, are you personally aligned with them? In other words, do your core values align with the goals that you set? Do you still feel the same way? Number two, are you aligned on a professional level as the business? So the ideas that you've got, if they're any business related, do you still feel they're aligned? Is it where you wanted to get to, where you want to be? Does it fit with your core basic human values? And thirdly, are there any people around you that are not aligned with your core values, or that it's become apparent, whether it's through this last month or even leading up to this month, possibly in the past, where you've ignored it, but now as you're ripping off the lid of these new goals and these aspirations, and I've personally seen this and witnessed it, so I know how this shows up, and you go, well, you know what, something's not quite right here. I'm misaligned with this person or these people that I'm working with. And yes, we could carry on, but the more I go down that rabbit hole, the less I feel comfortable. Now, if you're in that situation, then a serious question has to be, do you want to continue with these people? And if it's not right, then good time to sever it now. Better to do it early in the journey. So there's three things you really need to look at. Are you aligned with? So when I'm doing this, I think you have to be objective. It's very easy to be emotional and be caught in the moment and go, yeah, but but we've done this, and you've got to sit back and go objectively, am I aligned with all these things and the people? And if I am, great, carry on. So that's the first thing. Number two, are there any potential bumps ahead of you? So looking ahead over the next 3, 4, 5 months, rather than get there and go, oh shit, I didn't think about that. How come I didn't spot that? Project out along each path. Somebody just messaged me out now about a business plan they've got, and I quickly threw back some thoughts and reflections on, okay, imagine you're now doing what you said you're going to do. How does that look? How does it feel? How does it shape up? What time's involved in that? If I did that, am I going to be thrown off on a different tangent? But if I did that, I'm going to be drawn down the rabbit hole. Is that the rabbit hole I want to go down, or is that going to involve too much of my time? These things you need to project now, because when they happen, you can't really be saying I didn't expect that, because you can expect it by projecting and looking ahead. It's a form of timeline therapy, but on a professional level and a personal level as well. So what are the potential bumps that you might anticipate could come along over these next 3 to 6 months that could stop those aspirational dreams you set just 12, a month ago, 8 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, whenever you set them? I'm assuming at the start of the year. But if you're watching this at a different time, it's still relevant, I guess, because it's always about revisiting those as well. The next one is the family and your partners. Is what you're doing affecting your family and your partner, or your partners, or your as in business partners? But more importantly, on a personal level, is there anything that you're doing that could affect them? Are you spending more time away from the family than you thought? Is the plan working, but you didn't expect to be doing this much, or being away from home this much? Or does it involve more care for your children, or you not being able to be involved in a part of the house home lifestyle that you were expecting? So that's certainly happened to me in this last month and a half. Honestly, it's just we've had a crazy start to the year. So there were certain things that I had set aside I was going to do with the family and do in our home, which is still finishing off the renovation, and that's literally been put on hold. So that conversation's got to take place with us in our household next week. Next year, I don't think next year won't work, will it? And then finally, what tweaks are needed? And now, not tweaks in the future. So do you need to bring on new resources? Do you need to allocate more time to something? Do you need to upskill into a new area? On a personal level, what tweaks need to be done? And on a professional level, what tweaks need to be done? Do you need to let some people go? Cut those ties? Or do you need to build new ties or build on the existing ties that you've got? Anything like that, it is a perfect time to do it. And I mark my words, if you're watching this video, and it is a fairly straight, there's nothing flash about this video, but it's a practical. If I was coaching you and you were paying me a lot of money to coach you, I'd be going through this, but we'd be personalizing it one-to-one now. What I'm saying to you is, if we speak in a month or 2 months time and you go, oh my God, this happened, I didn't expect that. Oh, this video's anticipated that. Or stuff at home's not going very well at the moment. My kids, my wife, my husband. Well, we could have planned for that, And also I'm working with this person and we're not really, I should have done something about it. We're not particularly aligned. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So better to nip it in the bud early, get it done and get it closed off, than to find yourself in a situation in 4, 5, 6 months' time where you're not happy. I'm just saying if that's the case. All right, so 4 things. Hopefully that was useful. I better get back to my audience and I will see you on the next live.